Say you missed the old tea sipper, don't tempt me. RF, what the hell is this, bro? This might be the worst RF motocross track ever made in this game of all time for its time. And I am not exaggerating, bro. I know some of you guys might be saying, Spence, is it really that bad, or are you just shitting on RF? Like, no, it is that bad, dude. It is that bad, dude. Just think about this. I haven't even really been making very many dedicated RF rant videos, you know what I'm saying? Hadn't really been doing a lot of that old school stuff, so that's when you know it's bad, when I'm coming back out of the woodwork like, dog, this is terrible. So I let RF slide with their Fox Raceway this year, which was literally just last year's Fox Raceway with smaller ruts. That's all it was, man. And that's exactly what this Southwick is right here, okay? I want you to really pay attention in some of these corners, especially if you've rode on last year's Southwick here anytime recently. It's going to be like so obvious to you. It's going to be like, what in the hell are they doing? They just made all the ruts smaller. There's less ruts, so like there would be certain corners where you would have 3 or 4 bigger ruts that you could actually go into. Now there's like one rut that you can go into, and there's like maybe one other one that's just completely pointless. So there's literally just like one rut that you can hit around the whole track, pretty much. RF, what are you doing, bro? It's 2024, bro. I mean, this is terrible. Why are you making the ruts smaller again? I thought that was the whole thing. Like going from the 2019 flat tracking bullshit built around the road, you know, flat tracking highway days. Took you all those years to get up to 2023 where you started bringing back the pre-made ruts. You started making the berms bigger. Everybody was praising you again. Everybody was like, oh, hell yeah, they're starting to make the outdoor tracks, you know, like they used to be. And your idea in 2024 is to now go backwards again. Let's go back the opposite direction and start making the ruts smaller again where you can barely even see them. Let's make the pre-made smaller again. Let's make the tracks tighter again. Let's make the tracks more one-to-one scaling. You're literally going the wrong direction. What are you doing? Oh, boys. Oh, boys. I mean, if the tracks weren't already tight enough, they somehow found a way to make them even tighter. They just took away all of that fun flow feeling that the 2023 Southwick track had to it. This track is just awkward when you're going around it. All the fun little spots where you could carry that extra speed and hit some cool little double up out of a roller or something like that. You just can't do it on this track. You just can't do it. I mean, it's pretty bad, RF, when it's like, I start getting that feeling like I would literally rather be playing MX bikes than this track right here. But I swear to you, that's what it feels like, bro. That is what it feels like. And we're not just talking about this track's bad, like if you compare it to like a 2017, all you gotta do is compare it to last year's track. That is all you gotta do, bro. You know, how about we just check out last year's track, you know? How about we just do that? We'll see what happens here, boys. Okay, so remember that track that we were just on. Remember where the ruts were. There was basically just one rut in every corner, okay? Now we're back on the 2023 Southwick. Don't get confused here because it's going to seem like this 2023 track is actually the newer one, and that 2024 one is actually some like older, shittier version, okay? RF, I will never understand this ideology of let's take away the flow. Let's make it tighter. Let's make the ruts smaller. Let's make the scaling smaller. Why would you take away the speed? Why would you take away the flow? That's what makes motocross fun. See how I'm able to hit that inside rut and carry all that speed around because that corner sweeps around? Hit that fun little double up over that. This corner right here, you see how you could hit the inside rut, you could hit this middle rut. There's also the outside berm. You see all that? See all the ruts in this corner right here? I mean, this track is just, it's twice as good as your 2024 Southwick. I promise you it's twice as good at least. Just for the simple factor of speed carrying, this track has more jump skill gap to it. You weirdly smoothed out the jumps on the new one, which takes away all of the little bit of jump skill gap that you had, but just the flowing around the corners. This feels more like a normal motocross track. And I ain't even saying this track, this 2023 one is big enough scaling, but you gotta understand, they're going the opposite direction. They're making it even smaller. They're making the ruts even smaller. I felt like the ruts and the scaling and all that could have been even bigger from the 2023 version, but they decide they want to go the opposite direction. RF, when the hell are you gonna learn, bro? I mean, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all have somehow managed to make the most awkward, janky, tight, narrow, not even like a sand track, no ruts. The roughness is like somebody's first time ever making roughness on a track in this game. It's fucking terrible. It's random. It's kickery when it shouldn't be. It's not more skill gapped. It's just weird. Oh boy. This corner right here had 3 ruts in it, 3 or 4 bigger ruts in it on last year's track. Now it's got 2 that are small and make no sense. Okay, so we're back on last year's track. So let me just give you the example of what I'm talking about here. See this corner right here? 3 ruts that actually flow and are actually decently sized. RF, you just did this last year. Look at that. 3 rut options. Now on the new track, there's 2 smaller ruts going through the corner. Look at this corner up here. Look at that. 4 ruts going into 3 ruts that are all viable, hittable lines. Now there's just 1 rut going through the corner that sucks ass. Look at this, man. And there was still roughness on the 2023 version. It wasn't like this track didn't have any roughness. It's just made better. This track is almost, this 2023 version is kind of like way more skill gap in that jump right there on the 23 version than the 24. Look at the elevation change. See how that actually feels like you're going up on a hillside? It doesn't feel like that on the new version. There's still roughness. Look at the ruts in the corner. 3 big hittable ruts. Something you have to have in a pro motocross track. Look at this. Look at the berm size. Look at the berm size, boys. Holy shit. How did y'all fuck up that new track so bad? How'd y'all do it? I don't even know how you do that. How do you do that, RF? This track is 5 times better than your new one. Oh my god. And some of y'all boys wonder why I'm half-ass participating in outdoors this year. Hello? Have you seen the new tracks? And they're still doing the 2-day qualifying in pro. That's why I've just not really gave a shit about it. And I've not raced all the races. A lot of you boys get confused thinking I'm can't race outdoors or I'm so bad at outdoors. Bro, it's the tracks and it's the 2-day qualifying. I do not have the patience to go in there and ride on a track that is 5 times worse than just last year's version of that same track and then go qualify on it for 2 days. Nah, brother, y'all can have that shit. Y'all can have that shit. Be my guest. I'd rather go back and play on the 23. I literally would have rather them just ran the 2023 Southwick for how bad that new one is. I mean, look at the ruts in this corner. What is that, 4 ruts? They're all big. And you go into this corner and there's one inside rut and one kind of sort of an outside berm, not really. Like, what in the fuck is this? We get to 2024. RF, yeah, bro. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Let's start making the ruts smaller again. Let's start making the tracks way too tight again. Let's make them tighter. Let's make the ruts smaller. Let's make the tracks more janky. Let's make them more shitty. Yeah, bro, that's the way to do it.